Hi, my name is Kelsey. I'm a genius here at United BMW. Today we are going to take a look at the 2020 M8. The starting MSRP on the 2020 M8 is $133,000. The engine is an M twin turbo power 4.4 liter V8. It has an 8-speed automatic transmission. Comes in at just over 4,000 pounds for the total curb weight. It does 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. Has 600 horsepower, 553 pounds-feet of torque, and gets an estimated 15 mpg in the city and 20 on the highway. You will notice the styling on the M8 is very similar to the M850. We do have slightly larger air intakes down here that of course help cool the engine and make it look just a little bit more aggressive. And you'll notice right here that there is a double bubble on our carbon fiber roof. There are 9 paint colors available, including new Motegi red and individual Dravit gray. This model is black. So from this angle we get a really good view of the sloping hood and roof line, and then also those big side air breathers. These direct airflow to improve the aerodynamics of the vehicle. Coming in close here, we can see our standard laser lights with our tube features in here. These are what gives you the iconic BMW double headlight look. There are 3 wheel options available. All of them are 20-inch wheels. These are a double spoke M style. These also come standard with adaptive M suspension with electronically controlled dampers, an active M differential, M compound brakes with 15-inch rotors and 6 piston calipers in the front, single floater in the rear. Looking at the back here, you can see that aggressive 3D styling that BMW's introduced recently, as well as our wide hip line right through there. This does of course have those quad exhaust tips that we see on all M cars. The M8 has what BMW calls a long aquatic silhouette and sporty contours with wide shoulders and a low stance. And you get a good view of those wide shoulders back here. You can see it comes straight up from the wheels and then over and in, and it slopes forward really nicely. Let's just take a quick look at the trunk. Your latch is down here. It is electronic, so it will open without any assistance, and then you just push either of these to close. It does have quite a bit of space back here. And under here, you just pop this open. You have your BMW toolkit and a tire kit over here. Here in our engine bay, this is the 4.4 liter BMW twin power turbo V8 that we talked about earlier with 600 horsepower. It is a 32 valve engine. It combines 2 turbochargers with variable valve control and direct injection. We also have an aluminum front subframe, aluminum suspension and wheel carriers, and that active M diff that we talked about earlier. You can see we have a brace here, a brace over there. One thing that we always get questions about is where the jumping off points are. So your positive is right here under this red cover. It's kind of tucked away here under the side. And then your ground is this bolt here. There are 9 leather options for the M8. The one that you see here is the extended merino in black. You can also see the really pretty diamond quilted design, as well as the contrast stitching all through here. And this does light up as always. Here we get another view of both the super soft merino leather and our contrast stitching that's featured throughout the vehicle. Back here we have our memory seat buttons, lock and unlock, our Hofmeister kink door handle, and our beautiful Bowers & Wilkins speakers. These are not standard on the M8. It is a $3,400 option. Live Cockpit Professional with iDrive 7 is standard on the M8. So we have a 12.3 inch screen here and a 10.25 inch screen right here. So with iDrive 7, as we're all familiar with now, this is of course a touchscreen. These are configurable modules, which means that you can do a long press on any of these and adjust the information displayed there. And then hit the green check mark when you're done. So here we have it set up so that the second page will show us our driving mode, our engine data, which means our oil temperature and the oil pressure, and then the PSI and the temperature of all 4 of our tires. Back on the home screen, we have our map, our entertainment information, and our communication information. These do come standard with Apple CarPlay compatibility, and that is now set to last for 23 years. So we do have the leather-wrapped 3-spoke M steering wheel with, of course, the M color contrast stitching here. It is heated. These are your cruise control buttons, your configurable M buttons. These are your paddle shifters. So if you wanted to shift manually, this is how you upshift, that's how you downshift. You have 2 configurable M buttons. Of course, your horn is here, and then these are your entertainment controls. There are 4 different trim options available on the M8. On this model here, we just have the really pretty carbon fiber. So looking at our center console here, we do have some new buttons. Down here is typically where you would see your driving mode, so go Eco, Comfort, Sport, and then Sport Plus. So instead, what you do to adjust your driving modes is you push this setup button. On your screen, you'll see this appear. And what you do is you scroll your controller side to side to choose whether you want to adjust the engine, chassis, steering, or brake. Say we wanted to adjust the engine noise, we would just push down. So there are 2 new options on here that we didn't have previously, and that's brake and MX Drive. So the new braking system has an adjustable pedal feel, what we call the integrated braking system. This means that the brake activation, booster, and braking control functions are all housed in a single module. It has 2 settings, Comfort and Sport. These alter how much pressure you need to apply to slow the vehicle. It's available on both standard brakes and the carbon fiber upgrades. The other one is this MX Drive here that we saw for the first time on the M5. So if you want to change it, just like it says, you have to turn DSC or Dynamic Stability Control, Traction Control, this button here, off. So in order to turn it off, you press and hold. You'll see that it's off. You can select to configure, and there we can choose 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive sport, or 2-wheel drive. So if it's in 4-wheel drive, that means it is an all-wheel drive system with a rear-wheel drive bias capability. All right. Back here on the center console, we have a couple more new buttons. This one here is your exhaust sound. So since we're in Sport and Sport Plus, if we rev it, you can hear the burbles. But if you turn this off, rev it again, still in Sport Plus, much quieter, no burbles. M mode here is also new. What M mode does is lets you toggle between road and sport by pushing that M button continuously. So when you have it in road, that means all of your driver's assistance. On this one you have driving assistant package, which gives you parking assistant, driver recorder, active blind spot, lane departure. It also has extended traffic jam assistant. All of those are on and active. But when you select M mode, puts it into super sporty driving. It also changes your dash here, and it changes your head-up display to a performance head-up display. So last but not least is our leather covered shifter with our M contrast stitching here. So crystal controls are not available on the M8 because of this redesigned shifter, but your park button has been moved up here and you have a little gap right in there. Some available packages include Driving Assistance Pro and Driving Assistance Pro 2, which includes Traffic Jam Assistant and Evasion Aid. This model happens to be equipped with Driving Assistance Professional. This also comes with the optional M Drivers package that raises your top speed and includes a day at your nearest performance center so that you can learn how to operate it. Georgia's a hands-free state. I film by myself, so we are filming this driving portion like this. But everything's in Sport and Sport Plus where possible. It's not in M mode because I like our driver's assist and safety features. But this is what it sounds like at 45, the speed limit. Here is the backup camera on the M8. You can see it's great picture quality. You have an overhead view in addition to your standard view. These are your parking aid lines here. The parking assistant is now called automatic parking on our newer models, and this also has backup assistant, and I have videos on both of those if you want more information. So the sensors come in really handy in addition to that overhead view, and you can see yourself park really crooked. And that is everything that I know about the 2020 M8. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave me a comment down below.